It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC, this has been wild, it's really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC, this has been wild, it's really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC. This has been wild. Really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool. Felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC. This has been wild. Really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool. Felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC. This has been wild, really, really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC. This has been wild, really, really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
Well, welcome everyone into this NSC League of Legends B stream hosted by us here at the University campus of Esports. I'm Kimmy. I'm joined here today with my good friend Glitchy. How you been?
I'm good. How about you?
It's been a fun day, and I'm ready to watch some excellent League of Legends. We've got 2 games here planned for you today. First up, Nottingham Gale versus Sussex Sharks, followed up by Kitten Whiskers and Imperial Esports. Do we have any early predictions about what some of these teams might want to prio in their drafts today?
Overall, just looking at the meta, I'm expecting to see a lot of like hyper carry bot lanes, and to supplement that, I'm also expecting to see a lot of bruiser junglers that can put a lot of pressure on these bot lanes, make it so that they can get further ahead, abuse that like the ADC buff that they recently added to the meta, which has just completely changed things up because now it allows for topside to overall play more isolated and then teleport down to team fight and then return back to the lane without much punishment. And due to that, it just allows ADC to run wild. It's really strong, and I think it's going to completely shake things up. I expect we'll see some just tanky mid, tanky top, tanky jungle. We'll see strong supports, presumably engage again to get these ADCs ahead so that they can hit that power spike on the ADC quest, get their items, and just keep scaling and scaling and scaling, and then eventually run the game over. I'm expecting champs like Yunara, Jinx, Aphelios, the kind of generic, like one trick, just demolish the enemy team kind of picks, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that Yunara pick a lot. I think that's going to be one of the key points, at least in generally speaking for most teams. Obviously, these 4 teams will have their own individual preferences of what they want to play, but I think Yunara is probably the best all-rounder ADC at the moment. And I think to supplement that, rather than engage supports, because I think if you go too tanky, you're going to run into something like a Trundle or a Zarhen. That's something that will just eat through your armor.
That's true.
And everything.
A good Zahin can just completely demolish like a tanky team, because if the fight goes on long enough, obviously he procs passive, and passive is a revive, and just incredibly strong character all around. And I honestly think that's a good thing, shaking up the meta, leading to some more one-shots instead of CC of Legends, which I've heard it has been a little bit of recent.
It's neither here nor there, really. But to supplement those, like, hyper carry ADCs, I think rather than engage supports, we're going to be looking at more ranged supports, like your Lulus, your Seraphines, Karma, maybe even, like...
Pyke,
maybe.
I love my silly little fish guy.
Who knows? Maybe we get Pyke. Mid lane, I think we're going to see more setup mid laners, like an Ahri or something.
Or
that can help the bruiser jungler get a little bit of a lead early.
I can see what you're cooking. I overall think that like the main intent of the teams this game is going to just be to get the spot lane strong, and the best way to do that is to just have nobody die on map so that the ADC can just perma farm.
Yeah, but I think I guess I can see where you're coming. I definitely think tank top is gonna be a thing.
Oh, 100%.
Your Casantes, your Orns, your Scions, those
We're seeing an
really
Ornn pick
good.
this game.
Maybe it's neither here nor there.
I think it's happening.
I'd be excited for an Ornn.
I love
that
Ornn.
guy.
Love that guy. Absolute goat.
The Forge God.
Though also you've got characters like the Pride of the Zuma with Cassante, who is incredibly strong with that true damage on the ultimate. Just overall, the crazy amount of pressure, you can one-shot an ADC if you get a good jump on them, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. But maybe with those tank tops wanting to be picked, maybe we see more something like a Gnar as well to counter that. It's really, this is the fun with games like these, is it's like you give and you take, and it's...
Gosh, I love League of Legends.
It's all fluctuating. But yeah, I think a tankier top lane is definitely to be expected here. Ornn, you've mentioned, might be highly contested. I'd be really excited to see that. So teams might want to pro that a bit more with their bans. I think a bruiser jungle, definitely. That's the way most of the professional teams seem to be trending nowadays. To supplement that, I agree. I think I'm more correct in this one, thinking like the utility mid laners, something that has a bit of CC that can set up like an Arya, Talia. Maybe Ryze can be seen. I think Ryze is definitely pretty strong now, especially with Actualizer being added.
Such a broken item.
Yeah.
Or at least it was when I last checked.
Well, patch notes, it's rough. So, yes, peeling supports as well as on those ranged supports picks. I think like Braum, Rel, maybe even a Nautilus. I think stuff like that can definitely be seen here. Most commonly, I think Nautilus is a pretty safe bet overall, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something else along those lines pop up.
Once again, supplementing the ADC, which I am like just convinced is going to be the strategy of this game, we may see a Shen pick. Shen is obviously quite good for that whole ulting the ADC mid-team fight and annoying everyone in the game because they were about this close to dying and then got a 3,000 health shield.
If top is as much of an island as some people tend to think
it is,
we can definitely see like a Shen top and then them ulting down into the bot lane, and the enemy top laner doesn't even get that much further ahead. But I think that strategy might be a little weaker now, especially because they've put the crystalline overgrowth on every tower. So that makes platings really easy to get, especially since platings aren't divided evenly now. It kind of scales the more...
The plating changes I find are really interesting because they both speed up the pace of the game, but also seem to lead to a more stool-heavy kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
Because why would I shove Wave in and do 100 damage to the tower when I can slow push Wave and have Crystalline Overgrowth build and do 500 damage to the tower? It's like it leads to, in my opinion, slightly more boring gameplay. But you know, if teams can play around it well, then it might make things more interesting because less towers means more fighting, and more fighting means more action.
Yeah, definitely. But I think from what I've seen in my watching of the professional leagues so far, I think grubs are definitely not a priority at the moment. Most teams tend to skip them out or only get one for the XP. So that leads to obviously less towers being pushed, but because the towers now have a new trait where their defense or their resistances scale with the amount of enemy champions nearby them. So split pushing can still be strong, it just isn't as strong because of everyone wanting to group around the ADC, enable your ADC, and obviously grubs not being it makes split pushing a little bit weaker.
I was actually
it's not as much of a priority.
I was actually completely unaware of that change. That's really interesting because it was always awful when you would be sat at the tower and then, oh, there it goes, even though my entire team is here to defend it because it was like quite low.
But yeah, it's with enemy champions. So if everyone on your team is pushing their mid tier 2, that tier 2 is going to be really tanky. But if you're alone split pushing the top tier 2, that's pad towers are going to melt like butter.
I see. So it's rewarding split pushing.
Yes.
My favorite kind of gameplay.
But thankfully, because of the way everything else in the meta is shaping up, we're not really looking at that as much. Like, Ornn doesn't really want to be split pushing, does he? He wants to group, get that big 5-man knock-up and win the team fight for your team.
You know what I miss?
What?
I miss Atakan.
Atakan. Oh.
I loved release Atakan when...
I didn't.
Well, that's because you're weak. I loved release, I think it was Voracious Atakan, the one where you just got an instant revive. It was really funny.
Instant Guardian Angel that gives no gold. That's a fun thing to go against.
Yeah, it's really fun and engaging, and I hope they do more like that, because honestly, though I do genuinely believe that these new unique objectives are very fun, and I think they should try more with them. I don't think they should just like cast them off the moment we're done with Atakan, because it's a really, it's an interesting thing. It spins up the meta, and spinning up the meta is something that I think League of Legends really needs.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly, and I think in future seasons, as we move away from Demacia, whatever they choose to focus a season around next, I think we should. I think it would be so fun to see another neutral objective type thing take the place of what Atakan once was. I think it's fine this season with all the changes to like the tower and everything, how that all works. But I think having a bit of an extra mid-fight objective, especially since grubs aren't as much of a priority anymore unless they buff grubs.
That's shocking to me, by the way. Changing, like, last time the, like, grubs were, like, bad was ages ago. Like, I've been so used to grubs being, like, you sell drag for grubs every game.
Yeah,
Like, if they're taking dragon, you go grubs, you get 3 grubs, you win the game. Or you don't win because, you know.
No.
But
now with the scaling ADCs, dragons are now so much more of a priority. Stacking your dragons early so you can get the next dragon on spawn cooldown earlier is really beneficial for most teams. Getting that soul point and soul are going to be critical fights for these teams.
with the dragon heavy meta, you may actually see a surprising amount of Shyvana gameplay, actually, I'd hazard, because I think I checked and she actually had one of the highest win rates of the season at the moment. So, like, with such a dragon heavy meta, obviously Shyvana shreds dragons and she's just scary. So,
Dragon.
yeah, she's a dragon.
And she's also getting a visual update sometime this season, I believe.
Finally! We've been waiting for the Shyvana VGU for, like, decades, because Skana won.
Yeah.
And
But I think
shouldn't have.
a lot of champions are awaiting a visual update.
Rammus, Malphite, Garen, Lux.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter too much. They're still cool designs, I think. I absolutely adore Malphite. But yeah, I think there's a lot of ups and downs that we're going to see today. Definitely variable in drafts, lots of different types of gameplay. Maybe a couple elder fights should the game stretch on that long. But in terms of the teams themselves, let's look at our first match today. Nottingham Grail versus Sussex Sharks. Who do you think's going to win that one?
I think, looking at things, Nottingham Grail have a lot of very, like, strong, like, picks, like, very confident, very good win rates. The problem being that if those picks get banned, I think they will suffer slightly more than if they were on their mains, which is, you know, obvious. Like, if you get your main banned out, you're going to struggle more if you're on an off pick. But I think with how, looking at the rank disparity, one team clearly has, I believe it was a, like, Masters player, while the others are balanced around, like, an Emerald Diamond kind of level, I believe. And just
still very good.
Yeah, of course.
Compared to us in, like, bronze.
Yeah. Silver player, by the way. But it's, like, I do genuinely believe that these games are going to be quite close. And I'm looking forward to close games, because close games are the most enjoyable League of Legends games
banger.
to watch. Have you ever been in a 90-minute banger?
No, not yet, actually.
I have. It was torture, because it was 4 a.m. I wanted to go to sleep.
Maybe you shouldn't be playing at 4 a.m. then.
Well, maybe you don't get the silver grind set like I do.
Well, yeah.
Who
knows?
A real silver player would be queuing at 3 a.m.
Then, so that's your thoughts on the first match. Second match, Kitten Whiskers versus Imperial Esports. Who do you think's taken that one?
I think Imperial Esports have a good shot at it, but I'd like to hear your opinion on things, to be honest.
I'm a big fan of cats, personally.
I know you are.
Kitten Whiskers have my heart just through name alone. I'm obviously, we just want to see good League of Legends.
Yeah.
What team wins isn't as important to us. We're going to be cheering for both teams, no matter what the outcome is. But Kitten Whiskers.
See, I'm an Imperial Esports truther, so, you know.
Imperial Esports truther. You know, I respect it.
Yep.
It's cold. Yeah, we've just got a little bit more time before we start heading into our draft. So any last thoughts on drafts? Maybe a couple of champs these teams would want to ban that are either annoying or really strong right now.
I am honestly expecting, again, just because of how, like, hyper ADC focused the meta is, I think we're going to see a couple ADC bans again.
Yeah.
You might get, like, the Aphelios, the, like, Yunara, etc. However, if there's been a bit of scouting, again, I believe it was Nottingham had a very like, obvious preference for certain champions, and I think if there's been team scouting. They may target ban those champions, making the game potentially tougher for Nottingham.
Yeah, so a tougher game, longer game, maybe.
Longer game, more gameplay.
We definitely want longer games.
We do want longer games. You are right.
Those are definitely the more fun ones. But what about so we've got
Unless you're
priority-
13.
maybe, but we've got priority picks for teams. What about any like weird or wacky first picks? Do you think we might see?
I really want to see Rammus. Rammus blind pick.
What about a Molten Rammus on R5?
Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. That is the kind of picks I expect. Though, if we're looking more in the realms of actual like reality, we mentioned it earlier, but I think the Cassante would be an interesting pick to see.
Yeah.
I think Cassante is a very strong champ, don't get me wrong, but an interesting one nonetheless, because despite being a bruiser, he also plays very aggressive.
Yeah.
Or being a tank, sorry, he plays very, very aggressive. Does a lot of one-shotting in his ult, and overall, I'd like to see some Cassante gameplay. What about you?
Cassante.
What champ do you want to see?
Ooh,
Other than Molten Rammus.
I've mentioned before about Malphite, but I'm not sure. I'm personally. You've played with me in League of Punch. I'm a Zeri enjoyer. If we see some Zeri today, I'm feasting for the rest of the week.
We're not seeing Zeri. I don't think I've seen a single person pick that champion since like a month after she released.
Pace picked her like yesterday.
Pace
yesterday.
picked her like yesterday.
It was Zeri Yumi lane.
Okay, well, it was Zeri Yumi, and that's the best pick possible. Who plays Yumi?
The carrier, apparently.
Oh my goodness gracious. T1, what are you doing?
It's a circus.
As a
Hopefully none of our teams today are a circus and we actually get good League of Legends throughout. I'd be, a give and take on all the times, obviously. Zeri Yumi, Cassante, we've mentioned On could be a bit of a heavy prio pick. Any last thoughts and feelings on how this draft is going to shape out?
I believe we're going to see, and this is an estimate just based on what I've seen picked, I expect us to see again, I think we're going to see engaged supports like Nautilus, Leona, because I know one of the teams favored that pick. I think we're going to maybe see some counter engage, maybe some Rel. I love Rel. I have been a Rel truther since day one, and I would love to see some Rel actually.
It's year of the horse. After
It
all.
is Year of the Horse, and it would be a Rel angle, and yet they gave the skin to Lilia.
And maybe a Lilia jungle.
It is the Year of the Dare, apparently.
The year of the day, year of the horse, year of the day. I think it's year of the horse sounds better to me.
I mean, it is Year of the Horse.
I'm more favorable towards horses anyway. Rel, I can see a Rel being brought out. I think I feel like ranged supports are gonna be favored here, especially since generally speaking across the board they are easier to play. Like I think Lulu is definitely an easier
Don't like
to
that champ.
pick up champ. She's definitely got a lower skill floor than something like.
Imagine we see something
Braum.
like Lucian Nami in these games.
Lucian Nami. That would be interesting.
I-
Something like Lucian Nami, Aphelios Thresh, these classic kind of bot lanes. I think I would be really excited to see some of them pop up.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I think just in terms of the overall matchups, I think it's like, honestly, it's anyone's guess what we actually see, because they could pull something completely random out, or they could all just pick their mains and send it. But I think it would be really interesting to see some mix-ups, again.
See some wacky picks, like a
Yeah.
Rammus R5.
Yeah, Molten Rammus R5, the best pick.
Yeah, but we haven't actually touched on the junglers that much. We mentioned that we're going to be looking at more bruisery junglers, and we said Lilia might be appearing because of the skin.
Yes.
But junglers in general, what do you think's going to get prioed here? What's going to what some of the champs that we could see come out from this jungle role?
Enemy team picks tanky, they pick Zahin. Like, enemy team picks tanky, then, like, if red team picks tanky, blue team picks Zahin, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly decides the game because, quite frankly, Zahin is strong. Other than that, though, I think we might see like a Vi or
Vi?
a Scion jungle potentially.
Yeah, so Vi jungle, Ari mid. This is going in line with what I said, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm just wrapping it back around.
but after all our talk, it's still all up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen? Our players are ready and waiting in their lobbies, so we're going to throw you over to our casters.
Well, hello, Mr. Alex, Mr. Nanojuice. How are we?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Evan. How are you, man?
Oh, these awkward questions, a little bit of small talk, but no, I'm doing well. I mean, I know we're both sick, so, you know, that's...
Forgiving.
Yeah, a little forgiving, but I do want to head straight into draft. I want to talk about some things that have kind of come up to me whilst we've been looking at these multi-OPGGs, and that's the stuff like Nottingham looks very comfortable in their, I'd say, go-to champ picks here. So it's going to be, I don't want to call them OTPs in their way, but like kind of they have their more like
preferred picks.
Preferred picks, the ones that stand out more than each other, and that's going to be stuff like the Kane, that's going to be stuff like the Shen, the Ezreal, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they definitely, if they can, would prefer to go towards these picks when possible. But from draft, it looks like they didn't get those picks at all.
I do want to just cut into you a little bit here. 5 bans on the mid lane. They are clearly a bit scared of Barnwife here. But something I do want to cut into is not banning the Ezreal. Not banning the Ezreal screams to me that they're going to play something that's quite good into the Ezreal. Now, that's something that's typically going to be a bit longer range. Something like a Caitlyn. I think Caitlyn's a bit fake, though, in this circumstance, because the laning phase is pretty bad, but they're giving the Ezreal away for free. So that means they're most definitely going to have something up their sleeve. Or there's the Caitlyn, Nautilus coming out here. But in this, what support is screaming to you? Because for me, the fact that we saw them do draft beforehand, I do just want to say, they're picking Nautilus blind when Braum is open is a one-way ticket to grave.
Yeah, and when you're taking an already bad lane, when you're playing Ezreal Caitlyn, and then you're picking a bad support matchup as well, like, lane is completely doomed. I don't see how Caitlyn and Nautilus can actually play the game. Like pre-6, and even then post-6, Nautilus can press R on the Ezreal, and then what? It achieves nothing because Braum exists and deletes the Nautilus ult and the hook.
Pretty much.
Like, it's completely unplayable. Like, I think the game completely rides on Aatrox doing well. But I will want to say that the Zahen, I think, is very, very good against this draft when you have Nautilus, Mundo, and Aatrox to feed your passive on, and you're basically permanently having that up in a team fight because you're able to permanently kite these people. I think it's super playable for the Zahen here. I think the only win con that they have is Caitlyn scaling and the Mundo scaling. And these late game fights are quite playable, actually, if they get to that point.
Yeah, I really think they do have to, on the side of the Aatrox team here, they definitely need to kind of play more towards the... apologies, I'm just sorting something out. They definitely do need to play more towards the late game scaling of this team, because if they are going to take these early fights, you're not able to play for that first objective, as my lovely host was saying. Drake stacking in this season is so important. You know, Grubs did get slightly buffed, so they are a little bit more stronger, but in the terms of Drake stacking, there's clearly nothing else that's going to go on top of this, especially if it's something like Ocean. It's so important.
Yeah, I think dragon stacking is going to be something both teams need to play for, but like one team is way more capable of doing that in the early game, and you're going to be scaling what? You're going to get your level 16 Mundo and your 4 items Caitlyn, but the enemy team has half the objectives in the game. It makes playing for these later fights kind of impossible.
Yeah, most definitely it does make it a little bit difficult in the terms of kind of playing towards that more late game here. But we need to look at stuff like they have their win con, they have their Caitlyn. They need to be able to look for stuff like, you know, they won't always have this time to be able to play in that lane. They need to go and look for objectives. They need to go and look for roams, because I know there is a certain Aatrox and Mundo player on the caster bench with me today, and that is Mr. Nanojuice himself. And you're kind of looking at this and you're thinking, it's a little unplayable from draft.
It's a little unplayable from draft, but who knows? It could be hands diff. We, you know, I'm praying for the best. I just want a good game of League of Legends.
That is true. Good game of League of Legends, we most definitely do want here. I mean, these are both best of ones, so they will be quite fast games. This is where kind of playing more towards comfort does matter, and especially within these lower elos, I would say even up to something like GM, it's going to be you're playing that comfort. I mean, we're both, I'd say, Emerald Lions in our stride. We are the
Guardians of the Green.
Guardians of the Green. We are pretty much stuck in Diamond. But, you know, I'd say comfort matters until you kind of get towards a level of, you know, you can play hard meta. This is the stuff that kind of mixes up. And if it goes into between each other, that's when it kind of mixes. Now, in terms of win cons, I'm looking at Sussex Sharks and I'm thinking Mystic Shot, you know, that name spreads aura in a way. You're able to get Mystic Shot and play Ezreal. You know, Caitlyn is a bit of a fake one. Owen Wolves, I'm not too sure about the decision making from the side of Nottingham there, but it's something that I do look forward to. You know, clearly they have a game plan they want to go into this with, but to Mystic Shot, isn't this just a free lane?
Yeah, this should be a pretty free lane for the Ezreal Braum. They are kind of getting pushed in, though. Top lane, I saw some really early good trades from the Renekton, pushing into that Aatrox and playing for that PTA proc. It was really impactful. I'm seeing that we've... we are seeing that the Crash goes in. Renekton is probably going to go for a cheater recall, or just goes for the ward. That's also perfectly fine. Mid is also being pushed in, and Mundo is on that blue, maybe looking for this top scuttle and maybe a mid gank, because there's quite a lot of setup with the Anivia, and since Ahri has no ult yet, it's pretty easy to gank her, so we can maybe force a flash out if the wave state is looking pretty good.
Yeah, wave states this game are going to be something that I think both teams are going to struggle with. Anivia typically known for not being too strong into Ahri. I think it's something like Anivia has a 47% win rate off the top of my head into Ahri. That laning phase is not strong whatsoever. Getting pushed may be a little bit difficult without getting rid of too many resources, aka HP bar for the Anivia here, but I think the wave states in bot lane are going to be the most important. As our lovely host said, you know, kind of pathing towards that bot lane here, we see Zarhen going up to the top lane, trying to clear. This is a kind of season around bot lane, though. I think in a higher elo, yes, you can go all the way up to Challenger. I think top laners just can't carry the season, no matter even if they are level 20. I think it's just a bot lane, like Fianza.
That is true. So, I mean, ideally, Mundo needed a path bot lane here, but pathing up the top and taking that top lane, I guess he wanted the free CS. But yeah, top lane's kind of redundant. The lane should be kind of played through these two bruisers alone, and they can kind of be left on their own, to be honest. And bot lane should just be the complete focus for both junglers. We're looking at that. I wanted to mention that mid cancel from the Anivia onto that Ahri, forcing her wave push to be like getting that trash in, taking a bad base. Like, it's so good for the Anivia to catch up on the on that XP and on that CS that they would have lost otherwise.
Now, speaking from a support player point of view, you know I'm a support player, you're a top laner. We are basically the opposite side of the map. So I never get to see you when you're on your island, and then whilst I'm struggling in the bot lane, you're kind of, you know, with a cocktail in your hand, kind of
wine
glass, kind of laying on your sunbed, kind of taking your time in. But from a bot lane point perspective, I think that's most definitely going to be the key focus on this game. Yes, Anivia is a solid pick here, but the Ahri counter is going to make it a little bit difficult. Now, if I'm bot lane, I'm thinking we permanently have prio. This Caitlyn cannot play this lane. Every time she tries to go for a Q, Ezreal just jumps. If we try to lay a trap, Ezreal just moves. This is such a horrible lane for the side of Nottingham. However, there's one way that you're going to play it, Alex. Do you have any idea how you play it?
I think the only thing you can do is maybe force the Brahmi and then Nautilus are onto the Ezreal, and then that's like the only thing you got. Otherwise, this dude is firing missiles from 3 screens away with no counterplay. We are looking at a gank here onto the Renekton. Both top laners are level 6.
Little difficult damage. Going to go with the World Ender. Looking to see what they do. Chef Jar the Spark going to be activating his.
Dominus is so powerful.
One first blood. Dominus is too powerful. Kanoa, half HP. Going to be getting rid of that spell immune. Walking away nice and safely under that tower. But first blood does go to Chef Jar the Spark. Going to be going over to Sussex Sharks. And what makes that better is a cross map play is happening right under their noses.
So as they try to do this top play, Renekton walks away with a kill, and they get a dragon because Mundo showed topside. Like, this is like the best case scenario for Sharks that they could ask for, really.
Already a sticky situation for Nottingham. Oh, apologies. It's not Nottingham. It's I'm getting them confused a little bit. But in this situation, what are you thinking? Because you need to survive till late game, but you can't give away Drakes. This is the season of Drake stacking. I mean, already up by 0.6k gold on NTG. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to get back.
I think the only thing that they can do is just look for a cross map whenever possible, and just finding any kind of way, any like, you know, min-maxing and reducing your losses as much as possible, and while you're getting this Caitlyn and Mundo to scale. That's like the only thing that they can really do. This Anivia is maybe gonna find a kill on the Ahri.
Maybe gonna find a kill. Always a wrong. Gonna be punished now. Solo Bolo without the flash. Equally got Lukutsu's flash out on the mid lane. Gonna be Zahem with no flash. Equally objectives on Grubs are gonna be coming up in a minute. So it's gonna make it a little difficult because of that. Kanoa free Scuttle Clap. Now this is something I want to talk about. I feel like not enough players put enough importance recently within this season on the Scuttle Crab objective.
Getting that vision and that speed boost in these rivers just makes map traversal and these objectives so much easier to play around. Like, getting that vision for what, the next 60 seconds or something is just so important when you're setting up for the grabs or the drakes. We've already spoken about how important these drakes are. So playing for them is, you know, anything you can get on these rivers is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And a thing that you can get here is definitely going to be a key point in this game, especially for NTG. Going to be wanting to push that small lead above Sussex Sharks. This is what they kind of need to do to be able to survive into late game. They can't just go with opportunities. It needs to be small mistakes that they're able to push through, get more proactive, punish that. And we're going to be seeing that from Kanoa, pathing up to the top side with Grubs in 20 seconds.
We are looking at maybe a good bot fight here. I think it's really good for Ezreal on the Sheen to maybe take a fight. The Q goes through, misses. Ahri is here, but showing honor control ward. The ult also misses, so nothing to capitalize off there. Grubs are spawning. Mundo is topside, and mid can get pushed since Ahri was showing on bot lane on that ward. So we're looking at maybe some grubs for NTG.
Looking at some grubs maybe for NTG. Ahri, as you said, showing on that ward bot side. Zahen pathing upwards. It's going to be, I think, potential all of these grubs going over the side of NTG. Renekton is able to path down, but that mid pry was not there. So, you know, going for that fight isn't probably going to be possible because of the situation there.
It would be a 1v3 while bot lane looks kind of good. Zahen is close, goes for the ult, finds the Nautilus. Caitlyn is alone, but getting close to that turret with the Braum passive. Braum goes through. Do we find the Caitlyn kill? No, kill for the Caitlyn. The ult comes through. Double kill for the Caitlyn. Okay, we at least trade it with the Ezreal. That's so not worth, though.
It's really not. Now, that situation, you have something like the Caitlyn being able to get those 2 Wonder picks out of that. You know, you see Lukutsu not being able to get that Zahen ult off as much as he would have liked, not being able to get that passive as well, not being able to stack it off this Nautilus. However, the situation isn't completely dire for the side of Sussex Sharks. NTG is starting to pull ahead and get their lead, you know, trading that Drake for the free Grubs on the side of them. Grubs is especially good with Mundo, with Caitlyn, with Aatrox as well, you know, all being able to push that side, but is the lane phase going to be calling for it?
I think anything that you can get. The dive comes through though. Renekton finds the kill, does not get out with his life, but gets the crash in. Wave's in a pretty okay spot for the Renekton. Buys the Eclipse though. I don't think Eclipse is very good here, but hey, whatever.
No, the wave state in top lane is going to be a little bit tricky, you know. You do see Chef Jar up 1k at this point. That is a pretty substantial lead. It's going to be up on an item rather than just a pickaxe.
Yeah.
The other one. There's going to be a little bit of, yes, you can trade. Renekton is one of those people going to be able to, you know, tower dive in. Kanoa pushing that wave in just to make sure that his Aatrox is able to play the game rather than being freezed on under the tower. That's something that I am looking at from the bot lane. Talking of freezing, is they're just absolutely punishing this Caitlyn. She has to walk up. She has to do it. Especially for Ezreal and Braum, this is the lane that they like. Now, I would like to see a little bit more roaming from the side of Brom. You are playing with an Ezreal and freezing it under the tower. So, you know, MS Paint is able to roam. You are able to go mid. See if you can get your Ahri a bit ahead. That is a winning lane technically within win rates, but win rates don't mean everything in League of Legends. I would like to remind people of that. But, you know, potentially moving. It's under the tower. Where is their jungle? You know, you should be tracking. Is he bot side? Maybe don't go if he's bot side. But if he's top side showing a vision, come on, let's move a little.
Let's get a little proactive. We are having 3 people on this bot side. Nautilus is walking through the river. This is a free kill, surely, right?
This is a free kill potentially. Passive going to be on the
Ezreal
tag.
is not participating.
I mean, stun out from the side of Nautilus, going here a little bit more forward. You know what? Looking for Mystic Shock in the backline. No EO from him. Heart still on board as well. Going to be able to get that one. MS Paint trying to follow. The fight is so split. Lukutsu going to be able to get that res up. Now trapped in the situation. Going to be able to get one with his ult here. Owen Wolf's in trouble, but it's not going to be enough. MS Paint barely scraping his teeth and managing to get out of that fight.
Yeah, that was an insanely close fight. I thought that was so winning. But like they managed to squeeze out a kill onto the Ezreal and onto the Zahen, which is making the best of a bad situation. We are looking at a kill ahead and a dragon for NTG, which is like so good for them.
It is a real strong lead that NTG is potentially gaining here. This is not their playground to be able to, you know, put their foot forward first. This is a late game classic that they need to be able to pull out here. They're kind of reversing it.
Like the Caitlyn is 3-1 and she is quite ahead right now. Maybe not in terms of gold, but like an even Caitlyn is an ahead Caitlyn, especially in this types of game where she needs to scale and she's not as far behind as they want her to.
Jungle quest going to be completed for the side of Kanoa. Now, I do want to talk about something. Item on the Caitlyn, Storm Razor. Now, when it first came back, it's not a new item. I do want to reiterate that. It is an item that has returned. I hated this item with a passion. I thought it was so bad. 3.3k to buy it, components that you cannot rush, and all of the new items were completely awful. However, kind of redoing that, bringing Feed Hunters back, not going to be something that we do see run in these 2 games because Ezreal and Caitlyn weren't bought by it, but kind of those all new items, I was just such a hater of.
Yeah, I think Storm Razor this game, it looks okay, but I think if you're already being dove in, the extra move speed from Storm Razor isn't really saving you.
Yep. Jeb in a little bit of a pickle here. Going to be moving Kanoa. Going to be able to get that heart steal off. It is coming in. Mundo on board if he needs to use it. Jeb in a little bit of trouble as he keeps on choosing to fight. Ultimate not on board, but Ignite does go out. Flashes come out as well, but it is a pick for the side of NTG.
Yeah, Renekton committing to that fight is a little crazy, especially with the Mundo passive backup. With that flash Ignite, W onto the Mundo achieves nothing, especially with his passive up. A full splash from the Anivia inside the Drake pit though, which is kind of insane when you have a play going on the top side of the map. You can't be walking through the river like that.
Most definitely not. Vision, quite important in this game. Bunwave managing to keep the passive on them for now. Going to be invading that. Maybe look for a dive on the potential on bot lane. Nautilus is the only person there. They are maybe going to be looking for it. Hook on to Mystic. Not going to be availing too much. I think they're just going to get their Krugs and get out. Nope, come out of that with a surplus of money rather than kind of, I'd say, risking your life. Now, Rift Herald up in a minute. I do want to be able to see what they are going to be able to play here. Ultimate did come out from Spark, but amounted to nothing. Ignite almost getting it. I take my words back. Ripped it right out of my mouth. Coming in with the Dread Lord. Just a complete easy pickup.
Caitlyn all comes through. For fun.
Dreadlord? It's Dreadnought. I apologize. I always forget the second word. Dreadnought something.
Aatrox is trying to commit to this fight. Is when the Renekton is this far ahead, you really cannot go for these extended trades. I guess with the Shojin and your Conqueror proc, I guess you can, but like your cooldowns are still quite long versus Renekton at this stage, especially when he's so tanky with that Steel Sigil. It's quite hard to trade.
And that's most definitely true. Definitely a bit tricky to trade him. Sussex Sharks falling behind a little bit here, especially in an earlier team comp, you know, collect shines in those early things. Getting that first Drake, they did give it from the side of NTG to Sussex Sharks, but definitely did show a little bit of prowess on their way. Kanoa just looking for a little bit of a kerfuffle. Is up an item a hell of a lot earlier compared to Lukutsu, but just going to be pushing him off, getting the heart still stack, resetting, see if he can take that red buff away from them. Anything that gives them a surplus of gold, you know, kind of shoving him out. I do want to say, 3 levels up in the jungle.
Yeah, no, this Mundo is running around just perma-CSing a whole 40 CS above. Probably playing for this Rift Herald because the top lane does have push and mid does have push. So this Rift Herald does look kind of free, especially with Zahen now basing or going to his bot side jungle. I think this Rift Herald is pretty free for the side of Nottingham.
I do want to add, I want to put some respect on this Anivia's name. 5 bans towards the side of them, all targeted. However, yet they still are standing strong, even in a losing counter matchup lane.
1.3k.
Hard pushing it, and 1.3k ahead.
Which is insane. A whole 40 CS, a whole bunch of plates. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Chefjar the spot, gonna be caught out, not being able to get a pick onto Temich. Gonna be able to, you know, slowly close that lead. He is now 603 over, but it came down from almost a K.
Yeah, no. This game, like, the more it goes on, the more it's slipping out of Shock's hands. They really need to make fun. Ooh.
Dreadlord looking for something. I don't think it's going to amount to anything. You know, this is the power of Braum. Every time Nautilus goes in, he is able to just tank it, get those tags off, and kind of show this is why I am such a deadly counter to you as a Braum, I'd say, hate myself.
Yeah, no, I saw the Nautilus ult come through and under the tower, and I was like, oh wait, is there something going to happen? No, the Brahmi came through, and it just deleted the entire play. Just shut down immediately.
Akuksu leading the charge here, going to be able to get one onto Bun's wife, moving him around. Braum ult quite big there, but stuns from Anivia there to equalize. Here we go. Tempo is picking up Emma's pen, going to be able to block the Caitlyn ult there. Temich going onto Wong. Braum left alone in his side, going to be picked out. Mystic Shot going to be able to get those picks off. Just Braum completely gone, and their team fight just crumbles.
I do want to mention that Aatrox TP, like, I think the Aatrox did carry that whole fight, found a really good flank angle, found the Ezreal, found the Braum, found the Zahen. Like, this Aatrox cleaned up the fight so perfectly well with that TP on that flank angle. That was so well played by him.
Most definitely so. I think it's a little bit difficult to slowly catch up now if you are the side of Sharks. This is a game where you kind of can't let it go out of your hands. You have that early lead, you have that prowess, you have that, I'd say, domination in a way towards these early objectives, but you can't give that slip.
Yeah, when you are playing these Renekton's, these Aries, these Zahens, you need to be playing for these early objectives, and you're a Drake down, 5 kills down, Grubs down. Like, there is...
Well, we've just been informed the overlay is the wrong way around.
Yeah, so, Twizzle, good job, Sussex!
Good job, Sussex! Let's go, Sussex Sharks!
Let's go, Sussex Sharks!
NTG, struggling a little.
I'm not too surprised. Yeah, the Renekton ult finds the Anivia, but she's so annoying to catch, especially with this ult and these slows. Yeah, you just can't move.
Yeah.
Did they commit to this?
Gonna be a little bit difficult to commit to that. The egg is gone from Bunwife, but I don't think you're gonna be able to amount to anything here. Typically now, I'd say around the, kind of it's moved back a little bit. It's gone towards like 14 minutes where you can possibly get your quest on ADC, all the way up to like 18 now. We're gonna see people kind of generally move lanes toward mid lane. Akutsu here in a bit of a trouble position. Gonna be able to be bridged out by Chefjar the Spa, but
now we just turn on to the Renekton. He has no Dominus.
Avail, no Dominus. Gonna be turned on by Kanoa. Just a little bit of a kerfuffle hit. Gonna be charmed to no procedure. Lukusu not gonna be able to move. No passive for him then. Now the fight, the Anivia will own walls with the flank hit. Now they move into Drake Pit. Ari gonna be able to get out him. All of them escape.
Dude, that's so annoying.
That is crazy. Like, you move people into Drake Pit and they say, nah, not today, buddy.
All the dashes over the walls. You have the Ezreal E, the Ari R, and then you have the Braum E going through. The Braum W. Sorry.
Braum W.
Braum W.
Right,
W.
Put some respect on my boy.
I'm respected. I'm respected.
Not only does he demand respect, but he's just so OP inside that game.
He's so good. Like, even though the game does look pretty miserable, I think maybe if they have one really good fight where they can pick off this Anivia, or we can have the Mundo have no ult, like, it's kind of playable still, because they are playing these strong champs and these strong bruisers. Like, the game hasn't broken yet. I don't think.
Not broken. Something I do want to talk about is, as you say, the game is broken. Well, not broken just yet, but it's on its way there. You know, this is typically where they have that.
It's crumbling.
It's crumbling. You know, support item, Nautilus, Bloodsong. Now I can give the reasoning behind that, but I'm really hoping he knows the tech, or they know the tech, to swap support item out mid-game. You know, you can get your team ahead with that Bloodsong originally, then you swap it out for something like a Slay or a Celestial Opposition, and then it becomes a lot better at peeling. Now, as our host said earlier, typically this season is going to be that season where peeling is the most important in support. Now, this meta is stuff like you have your Nikos, you have your Rels, you have your Akans, you have your Alistar, you have your Bard. This is typically Nami as well. If you are playing it with Ezreal, I think that would be quite nice in the circumstance of Mystic Punch plays a lot, so maybe if they could add it into their pool or have it as a flex, kind of, it would be a lot stronger. But Nautilus, not really in there.
Yeah, not just compared to a lot of the other engaged supports this season, just hasn't felt that great.
No.
Because I think his job as like an engage support just isn't really felt when you just want to keep your ADC safe.
Yeah, especially with the new quest this season. I mean, I know everyone talks about it a lot, but it's just completely changing the game. The whole macro of the game has changed. The timers have come down by quite a lot. The objectives have been more important. But looking for a mid-knock, that is that Dreadnought going. I'm not too sure about the wall there. I think that may have ruined the Nautilus hook. But
yeah, that Nivea wall was kind of a troll when you're placing it in front of an Ezreal. You're just blocking yourself off as soon as you press E over it.
It's a bit rough.
Nivea's walking up quite far. I'm surprised they aren't punishing this.
Yeah. Oh, they may look for it. Cloud Drake up in 30 seconds. It is going to be a Cloud
Yeah, any
Storm.
picks that they get now is so impactful for this dragon. And the Nivea is alone.
The Nivea
Did not go for the fight.
Going to be chunking out a potential bit of HP for the side of NTG if they continue with this. As I say, I'm completely correct in that instance. Going to be losing a little bit of HP. Now, I want to talk about the wards and the situation on the map. The objective is up in 7 seconds. It's about to come online on your screens, folks. But take a look at Jeff Jarlaspar. Completely push that top lane in. That Aatrox is either going to miss out on a bunch of XP and, I'd say, move his lane a bit further down, or rotate the Drake.
Yeah, I think they're going to give that anyway, because there's no way that they can play for that at this point. Ezreal is too low. They're just trying to get this mid push to stop anymore. Nivea gets put out, though.
Yep, a little bit of a movement in the mid lane as Sussex Sharks do move to Soul Point. Nivea will going to be catching Braum there a little, but with the movement, going to be able to get out. Charmed from Ari. They're going to be able to go onto Mystic Shot. Now, I'm not too sure. I can't really see what's going on right now, but we have a little bit of screen freeze from this side. So we will see the fight action afterwards as we are fixed up. Going to be moving forward. The Kutsu going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Pulled back in by the Aatrox W, I believe, or is it E? It's W. I knew it was one of them. I just wasn't too sure. I just wanted to make sure.
I do want to mention that, again, this Aatrox has found a really good flank angle. Then all this forces the Ezreal flash and the Ezreal E by his presence in the mid lane, and forces the Ezreal to match this Aatrox inside the river, ults, and then chases all the way up and gets 2 free kills because of his great positioning again. This Aatrox was put so far behind this Renekton, but has found so many ways to get back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Jarlaspar might be a little Goran inspired. If folks could see what was happening there on the minimap, I'm not too sure because we did have a lovely view of the Baron Pit by the observers, but he was proxying the tier 3, the Nano Juice special.
Oh, we love a tier 3.
We do love a tier 3, but we don't love when you int on the tier 3s.
Hey man, that happens.
Hey man, if everyone was following the call, maybe. But a little bit of a combat going on in the bot side. Bunwife going to be able to potentially, not enough with the lifesteal. Lukutsu going to be able to go down here. Space being given towards the base has been cancelled by a miss. MS Pain stun on Egg. No longer going to be able to save you in that situation. Going to be moving away with the... Dude, I forget that room's name all the time.
Guardian?
No, not Guardian. Anivia.
Anivia. Oh, Phase Rush.
Phase Rush. Oh, dude, Phase Rush abuser.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, Anivia, Phase Rush abuser, man. It's like those silly flash abusers as well.
This is true.
I can't believe people abuse that most common
I go
summon
TP
as
Ignite
well.
every game.
Yeah. What, you an Akali player? Ew.
Camille.
Ugh. Jesus. That was not nice.
But yeah,
I think I might have to kick you off the caster desk now. What, are you true to?
Maybe. play Akchan next game.
No.
So that was a really good shutdown. I wasn't sure. I wasn't really paying attention to who it was given to, but probably the Renekton or to the Ezreal, and that's just a good amount of gold on either of those champs, to be honest.
Yeah, either or. That's gonna potentially put them back in the game a little bit more than they were originally. Here, kind of mid push, trying to siege anything, see if they can get anything, pushing those free lanes. Top lane is naturally pushing forward, so they're going to be focusing on a, I believe, 2-3 split towards the mid lane and bot lane, which is typically quite a good combination you'd like to see. Bot lane tower is being fought over, may result in a little bit of a fight. MS Paint walking onto Kanoa. I'm not sure if this is too good of an idea. Mundo doesn't have a spell shield up, but is going to be able to pick up his passive. R8 moving backwards, Mystic Shot, little bit of a danger hit. Kayla not going to be coming up, no one to block it. Always a wrong, escapes on 1 HP, but Mystic Shot is going to be taking the fall of that one.
That missed the machine gun Mundo from Kanoa finding to that fight, by the way. This Mundo does so much damage once he's 16 with that Titanic Hydra. As soon as this Mundo builds his blood mail, or, I mean, he's probably going Deadmans at this point because he has enough damage, but like, this Mundo is kind of running down all of the people on the enemy team right now.
Oh, most definitely sure. They are just completely running them down. They're saying, look, this is what Mundo does best. Mundo goes where he pleases. If you have a team that can just be run down on, he will take that pleasure.
There is nobody that can really stop this Mundo at this point. The only one that really can is Braum, and he's taking so much pressure at the spell shield. But like, there's so much pressure that the Braum is already taking from the Caitlyn, from the Aatrox, that you can't really stop the Mundo by himself.
No, I mean, with Braum, you can stop the Mundo if it's already gone. You know, he is typically one of those people who can get rid of the spell shield in a way, but it's quite difficult when you don't have other people to assist you with it. Maybe an Ahri charm to get rid of it, and then you go into a Braum stun, or maybe it's the Braum stun into the Ahri.
Yeah, you really need to get that concussive blows just like applied kind of always, but it's so hard when the Mundo is just running at the rest of your team.
Yeah, running at the rest of your team at Mach light speed.
There you go. The blood mail on the Mundo. Oh my god, this dude is gonna run the entire lobby now.
No one's standing a chance. If you have HP, it's going to be gone. Always a wrong. Missing that charm here. It's a little bit of a key important. We do see Temich in the top lane. Does have TP up if this does get a little bit scary. I would potentially recommend it just to make sure you do secure it, but I don't honestly think they need him.
Honestly, the Aatrox can just keep pushing here. The Mundo is 5 levels up on this Zahen.
Look at the Winions. Mundo isn't dying here. Zahen going to be able to get that resurrection, but Kanoa just completely frying in this fight. This machine gun Mundo just completely goes where he pleases. He's regenning his HP with 3 people on him, and the side of Sussex Sharks is just going to absolutely demolish everyone else
this Aatrox
in their backline. Just dance with them here. Don't let them recall. 2 of them are resetting. The Winions on this Aatrox, so he might be able to end the game solo here.
No, I don't think he has enough pressure, but they get the dragon now for free. That's soul for them.
Maybe he doesn't able to, but he does have the pressure of the minions with him. That is almost triple inhib on every single lane that they do own here. You're going to kind of showing that little bit of pressure, moving them backwards. Temich is in a little bit of trouble. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to get him. Passive HP is going to be able to proc a little bit. It's a little bit of a tricky fight. MS Paint backing off here. Chestbar respecting it as well. I think if he was Nano Juice, he would have created for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they did need to back off to catch this wave, because look at the amount of minions that are on this Nexus. They really needed to give up on that kill for the Aatrox. A little too unkillable with those 3 items spike. The Starax procs, and it's an extra 1k health that you have to get through.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Just ignore it, go pace.
Now, something I do want to bring up that I'm not too sure of. Typically when you see Mundo jungle, you don't see a Warmogs. That is typically... Or is it a Warmogs or is it the Heartsteel? It's Warmogs, right?
Yeah, it's Warmogs.
I thought it was Warmogs.
You don't build Warmogs in jungle.
That's a top lane item, and yet they've got it on jungle.
Yeah, no. You only... even then, if you're playing top and you go Heartsteel Titanic Bloodmail, you don't build Warmogs in 4. The whole point of the item is for lane and to get like a crazy amount of tempo because of the perma regen.
Yeah.
And like at this stage in the game, you just don't need it.
I don't think they can even contest the Baron here. It's completely gone and way too fast. Now, I do want to talk about this. We talked about the late game contestancy of this team. Now, 12k gold ahead.
12k gold plus Soul plus Baron. They just walk into their base and end the game for free. There's basically nothing that they can do. Aatrox is way too strong, Mundo is way too strong, and Nivea is so good at this front to back. Caitlyn sits there and auto attacks. Honestly, Caitlyn isn't even the carry of this team. I'm looking at the Mundo and the Aatrox.
Here we go. Kanoa, Temich with the World Ender. Going to be going Lukutsu in the middle of the fight, going onto the backline. I'm not sure that decision was the correct one when Mundo is just completely walking onto Mystic Shock. Going to be able to tank all of that. Still regenning. Look at that HP. 136, 20, 136. Just completely demolishing the entire backline. And folks, with all of those minions sieging their base,
the game's over.
I think that's going to be game.
That's going to be game. What a great first game, actually. Surprising result.
That was a banger. Now, I would like to talk about that a little bit after game, but for now, we're going to head over to break.
Let's go break.
Level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through, and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to UD Days and NSC. This has been wild, really, really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organizers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through, and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to UD Days and NSC. This has been wild, really, really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organizers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live. Level Up is this amazing brand new gaming and esports festival hosted by Uni Days, and you've got so many cool partners and brands here. It's basically built for students.
As you go through the event, you're going to level up as you go. So level 1, we've got the entrance maze, and then we go through and there's a bunch of different levels for you to try out. We have retro, we have reflex machines, we have the consumables area, and finally we have the AFK zone, and our UX stage is the final level.
They've been doing the slurp challenge where they have to make the loudest slurp and get some amazing prizes.
The ultimate drip for 2025, the pot noodle bucket hat.
Mr. P's been doing some crazy shenanigans. We've had an insane Rainbow Six Siege series. It was crazy, it went all the way.
Roehampton, as usual, winning the Rocket League.
It's just great fun seeing everyone all together in one place.
It's so enjoyable playing on LAN. It's just a completely different experience.
NSC is like a huge part of my university life, and I think it's just a great competition.
It's probably one of the best experiences I've had in uni so far.
Obviously, a massive shout out to our headline partner, Uni Days, for creating this whole new experiential event for all the students.
Shout out to Uni Days and NSC. This has been wild, really, really cool.
Shout out to the commentators, the organisers, and the players for turning up today and giving it their best.
Play some games, get some tokens, open some prizes, yeah.
It felt cool, felt good atmosphere.
It's been a great first event. Thank you to all of our partners, all the teams, all the players, everyone that came to watch and engage with our first awesome Uni Days Level Up Live.
welcome back, everyone. And that was such a game of League of Legends.
Such
we
a
just
good game of League of
witnessed.
Legends.
Yes, I was on the edge of my seat watching that, honestly.
I had a great time watching that game. It was really interesting, honestly. I think there was a lot of good plays, a lot of not so good plays, but overall, I think both teams put up a good performance. I just believe Sussex managed to pull through.
Yeah, the Sharks really showing their ferocity throughout this game with their intelligent map plays. Honestly, they sensed blood in the water, really. As corny as that may be.
And they didn't even pick Fizz.
It's there. You gotta make it. Come on. But let's rewind back to draft a little bit. Blue side leaving open the Ezreal, which I mean, looking at based what they've played before, there's a lot of Ezreal in there. To first pick Caitlyn.
The Caitlyn pick was good. Because although the Caitlyn into Ezreal is a hard lane for the Caitlyn, overall she outscales the Ezreal, and in the late game, which is what you want to be playing for in these kinds of matches, Caitlyn is a significantly more useful and important champion than Ezreal.
Yeah.
However, leaving the Braum open and blinding Nautilus was certainly an interesting play.
It was definitely a choice. Considering with Caitlyn into the Ezreal, you want a support that will help get you through that weak laning phase. Something like a Karma that can help bully the enemy ADC into staying under their tower. But picking Nautilus, and then it gets immediately matched with Braum, you're not feeling confident on the side of the Sharks, but they made it work anyway.
They somehow, that was like, honestly, Ezreal Braum should have like run that lane, but what ended up happening was quite the opposite, as I'm sure people saw during the stream.
Indeed, and also the Sharks, looking at bans again, we've talked about it a little bit. The Sharks mid laner tanking 4, maybe even 5 bans
7
there.
If you include their team's bans, 7 bans on that mid laner.
And still finding an Anivia pick, which worked.
Honestly, that Anivia was terrifying. Some of those blizzards, some of those walls just like completely cut the enemy team up. It was some really impressive gameplay, something that I would expect from the player, quite frankly, looking at how high ranked they are.
However, it's another scaling champion, so you're really looking at with this amount of scaling champions, they go for the Aatrox last. And a Mundo as well. Aatrox and Mundo was picked on R2, I believe it was. Or no, Blue 2, sorry. Second pick for them, and the Aatrox popped up later on their 5th pick to counter the Renekton.
And speaking of that Renekton, the Renekton had a really strong early game, had a really good overall like start of the game, but they just could not find the footing that they needed to like pull through and carry the game, which is unfortunate because Renekton as a character does fall off quite hard, especially into Aatrox, who is a character that I'd argue only gets stronger as the game goes on.
But you're looking at these drafts and you're thinking, blue side, very, very heavy scaling. They should struggle in lane quite a decent amount. And the Sharks recognized this. They didn't play for early objectives as much as we may have predicted.
A lot of strong cross-mapping.
Yes, but in return, they then cross-mapped. As soon as Nottingham showed anywhere on the map, they are immediately looking to make a play on the other side. That really helped them get them through the laning phase and even the mid game to some extent. So Nottingham really weren't able to generate the lead, as much of a lead as they would have wanted early, to help get them through the mid to late game.
I would also like to point out how oppressive the Mundo was in this game. CS count at some point being like hundreds above their opposing laner. It was a very oppressive...
5 levels up as well.
It was a very oppressive pick, and Mundo is one of those characters that just keeps going and going and going, and is just terrifying to lane against, especially if you don't have that like Blade of the Ruined King or just some other kind of like heal cut or like max health true damage or max health just any damage. The Mundo just does not die and does 10 billion damage and one-shots you.
Yeah, as our casters mentioned, Mundo does go where he pleases, especially when he's able to generate a lead that the Sharks were able to get for them. But looking ahead, we've now got the Sharks versus the winner of the other game that we mentioned earlier, Imperium versus Kitten Whiskers. Imperium did end up taking that, so you were right on that one. Kitten Whiskers still have my heart overall. But based off the performance we've seen from the Sharks so far, do you think Imperium is going to contest them heavily? Or is it going to be another more one-sided matchup?
I think the gameplay we saw from the Sharks was very strong. And I think if they manage to get a good pick on their mid laner, if they get the Mundo again, I think they will honestly have a really oppressive game and be able to run it through. But I still have faith in Imperium. I believe they can pull through.
I think Sharks have some really strong macro plays. You know, the being able to just be fine with giving up early objectives like that isn't something every team can do. Even if they're not planning to fight it. Most teams will still kind of hover around, maybe try contest, look for a steal. I don't know if that's something we saw, actually. I really want to see a steal in this game. That would be so hype.
I think if there was a steal, I expect everyone to be popping off.
It's because it's a really good moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great moment. Have you seen some of those steals in pro play? The entire crowd goes crazy. It's brilliant.
I was gonna say, it's always insane. It's always really fun to see. Is there any champ that you've seen Sharks play so far, or that you know Sharks would want to play, that you think Imperium need to be careful of, maybe ban or set up a draft around countering said champion?
I think that I'm expecting them again to just hard ban out that mid laner. That mid laner is just incredibly strong and very, very scary. But I think even so, as we saw, even focusing all of your bans on them,
they can still find a champ.
So they may end up focusing on trying to ban out bot lane, get rid of like the stronger ADCs like Caitlyn and Aphelios and Yunara, like we discussed earlier, and allowing the bot lane to just push ahead. Because what we saw in the previous game was that if Sussex are allowed to just remain and chill, they will eventually find a lead. They will eventually push through. They will take the game.
Yeah, well, it's like we said during our little pre-game talk that playing around your ADC is really critical here. The range supports, we didn't see that this game. The last game, we saw more peel supports. The Braum and the Nautilus leans more towards engage, but is also a decent.
Nautilus has pretty strong peel if need be.
With the amount of CCs that he has in his kit, it's.
I love getting hit by a QR auto and being stunned for 12 years. It's awesome.
I think there are other champions that are big offenders of
Morgana.
The CC little thing. But being able to pick stuff like that and help your ADC get through the early game. Even they weren't even playing a lane build, they still managed to do it. It was really impressive to see, honestly. But I think trying to ban out the mid laner isn't necessarily as valuable as we maybe would have thought it was. They're still able to find champs, obviously. Everything about this game, to me, I feel like Sharks are going to win.
I am confident in Imperium pulling through. I would like to see an on pick. However, I do believe we need to be moving on to our casters.
We do indeed. We're at odds again. Let's see who will come out on top this time. As our teams are ready, we're going to go back to our casters for the draft.
Hello, and welcome back to the Caster's Desk. Hello, I am Nanojuice, and I have Mr. Evan with me as well here.
Well, thank you very much. What a lovely intro. I mean, we're here for the second time now. First game was, I would say, not a bit of a stomp at the start, and then it got higher and higher on that emotional roller coaster.
Progressively got worse and worse.
I mean, turned into a stomp. I mean, I want to bring up the fact of 5k gold difference in the jungle.
Yeah, that was insane. This Mundo kind of ran the game by himself. The Anivia played well, the Aatrox played well, but the Mundo was definitely the star player for me.
Yeah, I think definitely a star player for me as well. Now, they clearly came into that drop with an idea of, what they'd want to do, but I don't think it was clear that, I don't want to say hand stiff because that's a bit disrespectful, and of course it wasn't a hand stiff. Everyone's here to have fun, everyone's here to play, but they kind of just got
caught on places that they shouldn't be. Like, just a lot of the team fighting as well, quite off, and like just a mispositioning. And like, I think Sussex just took so many good fights and opportunities and made the best of like their situation, and they really pushed their lead ahead.
Now, Mr. Nanojuice, I want to cast your mind back a little bit. You casted a game where I had played against one of these teams before, back in London Lock-In. It was Imperial College versus London Legion. Do you remember that game?
I do a little bit remember that game.
A certain caster on the desk here was playing in that game against this team right here. And
there's a lot of bias.
Safe to say, we may have gotten destroyed.
Let's see if it happens. Again, Irelia Tarek, by the way.
This is something that we typically wouldn't really see Irelia Tarek kind of together. I mean, we are coming out with something like the Varus Zin. That is quite strong together. Now, Tarek, Varus is something that typically isn't the strongest bot lane combo. I mean, you're looking more towards the side of the blue team here. But I'm looking on
Mundo Alawi.
Mundo Alawi. I mean, it's clearly Mundo jungle, but...
Alawi mid? Alawi mid into Cassiopeia. That matchup sounds horrendous, does it not?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Now, something I do want to cast your mind back again to is when I played against these were the most aggressive players I have ever played against.
They were very aggressive in that game.
In my life.
Yeah.
And I'm talking Lee Sin taking W first to invade my jungler's red side by ward hopping over
which
over
is
Rift Wall.
Insane behavior.
Yeah.
But like, it was mesmerizing to watch.
It wasn't mesmerizing to play against.
I bet you. I bet it wasn't. I bet it wasn't.
It felt like I had touched a keyboard for the first time, and it felt like I was essentially getting slapped around.
Just completely manhandled.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like that. But as we go into the game,
we are looking at a blue side. Probably, I think they're going to be looking for some good early fights, but it's kind of hard when you're playing against Tarek, Varus on this lane. So bot push might be a little difficult. How is the Nautilus Tarek matchup, Mr. Support Guy?
Ooh, Nautilus Tarek. Now, it's kind of an even lane in the terms of, fighting each other. It's not really, brawly. It can be brawly once you hit that level 3. I mean, Tarek can be more aggressive on the level 1 because I do believe the stun is longer than the Nautilus. But Nautilus, you do have that line hook and then you have that passive, stun as well. But I think this is going to be a pretty passive lane. I mean, Varus, Caitlyn, that range is kind of disgusting on each other. But until junglers come, I would be really surprised if they kind of choose to actively all in on each other.
Right, okay, makes sense. We are finding that the Caitlyn is getting a lot of good poke in, actually, versus this Tarek who's already got a pot going.
Yeah, I mean, typically we may look for something like a level 2 hit if they are willing to kind of, trade that all in. But it does look look like they're going to be doing a slow push here, kind of more in towards them, getting that level 2 a little bit slower, getting a little bit more calculated in the way they do play. Now, I just do want to talk about this Alawi mid.
Yeah, the Alawi mid, that's something I'm going to be interested in watching the whole game, to be honest, because that matchup, I really wonder how Bunwife is going to play that, considering that he played really well in the last lane. I wonder how he's going to deal with this situation.
Temich, running grasp, not too bad in this lane, especially when that Aurelia will come towards him to try go for that, you know, when she has passive kind of trade. Like now,
Level 2
but we are
dive.
looking for a level 2 dive. A W out from 10 minutes, going to be able to miss. Brittle not landing, but it's going to be able to trade. That first blood is going to go over to Yang 03, getting that 400 gold.
And that is so good because the wave is actually crashed, forcing the own TP, and Aurelia can match that TP with her own, and she gets so much for this. Basis gets a Vamp Scepter compared to the Ornn. She doesn't even need to TP because the wave is pushing really hard into her. So she's TP up, Vamp Scepter up, first blood, everything. Like, this is so unfathomably good for Aurelia, by the way.
It really is. Now, something I'm a little worried about. As we can see on the map, this is a spectator advantage. We can see without Fog of War. So we can see that Kung is on his blue side right now. It does sound like there's a fight going on. I'm not too sure. I mean, the side of our production is a little skewed right now, but we're going to be getting that pick onto Owen. Kung continues to ride forward. Owen will just being able to get those passive stacks off and continue getting that headshot damage. Now, if that Q hits, Spark can be in a little bit of a trouble, but I do think this is winnable. Does have flash and barrier, so I would have liked to see a little bit more of aggressive, you know, with that headshot. Go for that pick. You do have enough damage here and pot, but I want to comment on the situation that was evolved from that hook going to be missed completely wide. Kung trying to flank around, Spark in a little bit of danger, gonna be poked out by wind that becomes lightning. Apologies. Moving on, Owen deciding he wants to play a little bit more aggressive. Barrier is up, Flash gonna be able to get out of that situation a little bit. Barrier from Jane Yi. That was a very messy situation.
Yeah, that was a messy fight. I think...
Had me stuttering over my words.
Yeah, right? I thought the play was going completely fine until that Nautilus hook went so wide. After that, you've got to leave. Like, I think even that was winning. You got one kill. I think you just take that net pause and you just take your small win. Greeting for more really kind of cooked that plate. That's another 2 kills.
Here we go again. Dive from Yang 03. Going to be able to get out 10 minutes. Brittle, nothing to be impressed about too much, but going to be able to get out that pick. Now, this is something I was talking about off desk. Playing against these teams before, I know these guys love their first 15 minutes. That is where they shine. That is where they love to be aggressive, and that is where they will get stuck in the mud. Now, I want to cast your mind back to that Scuttle Crab play that did just happen in the bot lane. Konoha pushing past that minion wave when it was coming in on them, kind of started that whole situation
Yeah,
bad.
that did. That really, really did. I think the whole setup from that play was just kind of... they really did overforce that quite a bit, and the Scuttle does eventually go towards Kung. I want to put your mind back towards the top lane, because this Aurelia
so much recall in.
There's 1k gold up.
What? Already?
On the Aurelia, if you go back, she's 1k gold up. She's 40 CS up on a recurve bow in the top lane versus an Ornn. And the Ornn did not build a Bramble Vest. This bro has not built a Bramble Vest into the Aurelia Xin Cassiopeia Taric. On his first base, you don't go Bramble. This guy is going to have a miserable laning phase. He's 1k gold down already.
Barmy's Cinder over Bramble. 1.2k down already. This is not going to be a fun lane whatsoever. Hook going to be able to get it. Turret stun coming out. 0-0 leading the charge in. Owen Wolf going to be up that Noon Quiver, so the attack speed is higher than Jamie's. Going AP damage. This is a situation that is going to be get a little sticky here. Konoha is equally coming in. Spark, can you live long enough? Come, going there. Going to be able to get a win becomes lightning on to it was Spark. Konoha pops that out. Passive is still there. 1 level up is just going to be able to walk out.
Yeah, the Mundo being a level up here just makes such a difference because he's able to just walk in, get that Barrier spec, and then walk away with the Mundo. Like, it's completely, like, irrelevant. I think if Kung is level 6 here as well, I don't know if it makes much of a difference, honestly.
Another tower dive on top lane. This is stuff that I was not enjoying whilst I was playing against these guys in lock-in. These are the most aggressive people you have ever seen, especially Kung on that, you know, typical, I can play aggressive, I am coming to your lanes, I am getting my laners ahead, then I'm doing the typical nano juice, I'm putting my feet up, I'm laying on my sunbed, I've got my wine glass out, and you guys can just carry away.
You play the game for me, buddy. But this Irelia, you know, despite being 3-3, 1.6.
1.6. Almost got first item.
This bro is almost at bulk. It's 7 minutes. Like, this dude is 66 CS, perma pushing every wave, diving this Ornn on cooldown. The thing that gets me is I don't know how Ornn is still dying on these dives. When you see the Aurelia Q onto you, don't you just E your own turret? And you just CC her under your tower?
That is true. Now, maybe that's not something that kind of came to them at the current moment, but something that did come to someone, Janey, going on hit Varus, but building Dusk and Dawn first.
That's a little weird. I think
that's a little weird.
As your first item is maybe they're going AP Varus in the bot lane.
I would be extremely surprised as you have a Cassiopeia. I think on hit Varus here is so good.
Yeah, I think on hit Varus against their team is so good. Like, it's 4 melee champs and a Caitlyn. I think it was so
it's just like so free if you go on hit. Now, Dusk and Dawn Varus is something that we typically did see in top lane for about a week. I did want to comment on that, but I didn't know if he was going it. Bramble for Temich, going to be his second item. Did go Balmy Cinder first to kind of go more towards that wave clear, see if it can help him a little within the dives.
Yeah.
Go to that Sunfire, but now is building that Bramble. Moving back to Dusk and Dawn on hit Varus. First item. That's top lane Varus, not ADC.
Yeah, I think this Varus goes, Bork Gwinsu's 1-2.
Gwinsu's, yeah.
Completely runs this game, to be honest. Like, he would be a server admin.
Riot server admin. Someone get August on the phone.
Yo, Drew 11.
Drew 11, at Drew 11. This guy is too OP, tower diving too many times.
That is grabs for the side of ICL, and we didn't comment on it earlier, but we do have a first Drake for the Sharks as well. The Alami mid, when did she get a solo kill?
I'm not too sure. Surprisingly working.
When did that happen?
I've learned over these couple games just to not question Bunway. 7 bans, including 2 of their own. I'm not sure if they play bans, so we can knock it down to 6. But still, 6 bans and still 1 lane in a counter matchup. Zoid going to be using that up, going to be able to get the pick onto Bunway. Just not enough.
Yo, we actually cursed him.
We cast the curse. We are so sorry. You can blame Nano Juice for that one.
Hey! I'm just saying, yeah, that's kind of how I expected that match to go.
Yeah. You know, with that I mean, typically they do have exhaust, so that's not something that Cassiopeia can really do late game, just run onto someone, press R, and then be like, you can't move anymore, and you're dead. But we are looking at this. This is a situation. Drake is up in 4 minutes. Well, 3.5 if you count it as that. But in this situation, what are you thinking? Kanoa's holding this mid wave. Spark is going to be caught out for almost trying to face check a bush hit. Flash out from him. Hook is going to be able to save him, but not for long. Almost died.
Gets out with his life, but forces that flash, and you really need this flash against this team. I think getting close to that Cassiopeia with that grounded that she has makes it really hard to get close, and by proxy, makes it hard for the Varus.
Where is Yang?
Yang is in the enemy blue with Bork, 1v2ing the top mid laner.
Is some aggression that I've never seen before. Exhaust coming out. Kanoa being forced to use R-Hit. Yang still holding strong in this backline, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I think Yang, maybe a little bit of vintage. Maybe this would be considered a Nano Juice play. In the enemy wolves,
yeah, in the enemy wolves at 10 minutes. But 2.5k up, almost 100 CS up at 10 minutes.
Yo, I want to flame this guy for being the enemy wolves, but this dude is kind of a server admin.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Like, to be honest, maybe he can be there. Maybe we're wrong for questioning him.
I won't question him again. Now, something I do want to comment on, Mr. Nano Juice, Hex Optics for the side of Caitlyn. First game, they went the Storm Razor. Now they're going towards the Hex Optics. Now, for people who play Arena, Hex Optics basically works the exact same as Diamond Tip Spear, but it's kind of more fun.
Yeah. More interesting.
More interesting. More to it. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of the item myself, making sure they are going to be getting the pick for, kind of greening a little bit too much, potentially looking for that mid-tier, but carrying on. This is an item that we're typically seeing some Jinx players run, actually, instead of Collector. It's not that bad for Caitlyn because you do more damage at more range, but I just don't think it's that great. I think it's a late-game item, not a rush.
I think, yeah, for a first item for Caitlyn, it's usually Collector or Yuntao.
Collector. I mean, Yuntau's is got such a terrible build path.
Yeah. But the thing about the whole collector versus hex optics thing is that doesn't collector fall off quite fast?
Yes,
So you're
does.
building hex optics to not play for the early game. I mean, if you're 1.5k gold below your enemy ADC, I guess you can build a hex optics first and just play for your 3-item spike.
I mean, yeah.
The Aurelia is proxying.
The Aurelia is proxying at a tier 3. Ultimate has come out. Kanoa going to be struggling a little bit here. Ultimate has been popped by my... Going to be just trying to face tank a little bit for him. Yang trying to get what he can here. Going to be able to pick up one, potentially two. Kanoa going to have to flash away in this instance. But
this
what is going
on?
It's
a demon. He's proxying under that tier 3 with...
You're a psychopath.
With no vision.
3k up.
With no vision. And this bro, he's 5'5", 2.7k.
Orn just can't play the game.
Like, this Orn, I mean, to be honest, I don't even think this is this bad for Orn, because if he's not landing against the Irelia, it's probably better for him.
Yeah, massive door. He's no longer getting dived.
Yeah.
So it's a door for him to kind of escalate himself.
And the thing is, like, the
end.
Irelia is kind of throwing her lead by walking into the enemy jungle.
Is she though? She's 2.7k ahead.
Well, yeah, I feel like she'd be 3 to 4k.
I mean, Jing coming out, I guess proving me a little wrong about going Dusk and Dawn first. You know, that AP on the Q, going to be able to just completely snipe them. Maybe it's because Taric and Varus have that synergy of, you know, I can just E as Taric, then I can get basically a free full charge Q on Varus and just eliminate your whole HP bar.
With kind of no counterplay. And it looks like Varus is going Nash's Tooth. Second at him. Is it full AP Varus?
Is it full AP on hit Varus? This is not something I've seen before.
Especially in the ADC role. I mean, surely you go Bork this game at some point, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think not going Bork this game is a little crazy because, I mean, just look at the left side of your screen, folks. Look and count down from Temich to Alawi. It's illegal not to go Bork here.
Even the
not
Nautilus.
on the side of Irelia, but like...
Why not build more? There's no, like, diminishing returns.
Temich is moving around here. Rift Herald up in 40. This is a bit of just how proactive can ILC be here in pushing their leads. Can they go into their blue? Can they take any vision away from them? We can see it from the bottom side of the map. If we can have a little bit of a highlight there with your eyes, we can see that they have complete vision on the side of bot lane, so they physically cannot walk into their own jungle. But for Rift coming up, we need to swap it out.
Yeah, so we've got Yang will be wanting the Alawi in the top lane as well. The Alawi went Cycle Sword first item as well.
Okay.
Which is something I want to highlight because that's
That
Yang
is
going for
weird.
dive, finds the Q, and that's a free dive.
Yang is just a psychopath. I'm going to say it how it is. This is insane. I mean, 5 deaths at 14 minutes, 3.4k up.
This guy knows his limits. At least a little bit. He's like, he's kind of just running the game by himself right now.
This is what I'm talking about. When I played these guys, this is some aggression you haven't seen before.
No,
Sussex Sharks may not have been adapted to this. Now, I understand, I may be wrong with this, but I think ICL is currently the top seed in NSC. Not going to be able to get the stun onto him just yet from the side of 0-0. Kanoa just going to be ulting out here and getting away. Spark looking for a little bit of just vision, seeing what they can go on, a little bit of a detective style going on there. But folks, 15 minutes. Look at the lane assignments. Your Taric is in top lane with your Varus, hard pushing mid lane. Your Irelia is now in bot lane at 15 minutes. Sure, role quests are done, but this is some aggression that I just don't think they're adapted for.
Yeah, no, this is a very high-pressure game from what I could tell. And are we really going to fight the Irelia again, guys? We've seen what happened every other time we've tried.
Have we learned from our mistakes? She's now 2 items at 15 minutes, now with the Hull Breaker as well.
Yeah, no, so these towers, if they weren't gone before, they're gone now. The passive change that was made, what, 2-3 months ago, where she keeps, she keeps the passive stacks when auto-attacking the tower. She's become such a good split pusher. I think it's really hard to match this Irelia at this point. She is just kind of a server admin. I don't know what you can do versus it at this point. This Alawi, I wonder what she's going to go now. She went Cycle Sword first item, which I think it's really strange on Alawi. But I wonder where that's going to take her. The Herald does go to the side of ICL.
Getting the solo pick on the top lane has sent Zoid back to the fountain. Now they are about 7k, 8k up on them around about, but that doesn't mean much in the terms of what can they do with it. Sure, they are a lot of gold up on you, but you have such a scaling team. They're playing this Mundo Caitlyn again that did work so great for them last game. I believe the Caitlyn is going Hex Optics into IE. I believe that's going to immediately eliminate any HP bar they have on the side of the ICL. I mean, you're typically tank-wise, you're looking at Xin, you're looking at Tarek. Apart from that, all of their HP bar is going to be disappeared. Yang in a 1v4 here. Going to be sought out by the Nautilus. Kanoa moving around, going to be getting that healing and shielding from 0-0. Going to be getting that Tarek. Oh, again, nowhere to escape from the side of Kanoa, and Spark is going to be going down.
Yeah, there was 4 people pathing down to this Irelia. She calmed it. Guys, this is so fightable. And then they all go down, and then they win the fight instantly. Like, this is so unplayable. This Irelia is so fed. Like, I don't know what to do. You're collapsing on an Irelia that will not die versus any of your team at this point, and you just get collapsed on by the rest of the team, and that is a bot tier 2 gone as well, and maybe this bot tier 3. With the Herald, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, with the Herald, this is gone. I mean, they may even look for more. Shelly gets 3 charges here if they play it well. 1 onto the tower, 2 onto the inhib, and 3 onto the last towers. But if they are smart, I was going to say they could just go charge it mid lane. Tower is gone, so they get the tier 2, and they can equally charge it into the tier 3 if Shelly doesn't die here. And 3 charges go over to the side of ICL. Now, this is something that is just domination. 20 minutes, I don't want to glaze, but 20 minutes and they're already in the Nexus.
They're in the Nexus. Zoid finds the flash. Ornn doesn't catch anyone though. The Ornn is dying under double turret. The Caitlyn's dying in the fountain.
Dying in the fountain is crazy. Wind Becomes Lightning did go onto 10 itch, but they just completely ignored it. Said, no, I'm not going on you today, mate. And then completely dove in the fountain at 20 minutes, folks.
The ADC experience.
ADC experience in Season 16, guys. If you can get 3 items, we lose the game. But until then, ICL most likely going to be going away with this win today.
At this, Irelia is a maniac.
Not even 20 minutes.
GG.
And ICL going away with a win.
That's crazy. Well, thank you for the game. That was fun. We will be seeing you in the break then. Goodbye.
Welcome back, everyone, and wow, what a fast game that was. Just under 20 minutes.
20-minute banger.
20-minute banger indeed, especially for the side of Imperium again. I once again lost the prediction war. You're 2-0 today. Maybe that spells well for
Keep the
next
streak
week.
going.
But wow, I don't feel like there's so much to say, but also so little to say about that game.
The Irelia ran that game. There's no way you can slice it other than the Irelia went absolutely crazy. Like, just yes, she had a lot of deaths, but I don't think that really mattered when she just had pressure and pressure and pressure and pressure constantly. Just like taking Bork into Ornn just blows him up. Like I got my Ornn pick and then my Ornn died.
Especially because that Bork pick was, or the Bork buy was so crucial because Sussex were running 4 tanks. I'm not sure. We mentioned the dangers of picking a tank in this current setup during our little pre-show a little bit, but you really felt it here. Only one Bork, and they kind of crumbled. It could have been 2 as well. We saw AP Varus.
The Varus, I will say, they did also win bot lane, and the Varus did play very well in that game.
Definitely.
I'm so proud of them.
I think Dusk and Dawn makes sense, and I can see where their train of thought is for the AP Varus. But I think, me personally, I would have gone on it.
I'm going to be honest with you. No. Dusk and Dawn is so broken right now. And if you don't build it, you're throwing. Like, if you don't build it on a champ that...
Well...
If you don't build it on a champ that wants it, then you suck.
Does Varus want it, though?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, AP Varus does.
Yeah.
But any other build? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
I can definitely see where they don't want to go poke Varus. I would have gone on hit Varus, but maybe that's why I'm not playing and they are.
Yeah, maybe this is why we're both in silver.
Yeah, maybe. But interesting to note interesting other bits to note from the draft. Caitlyn Nautilus picked 1-2 again. For or was it 1-2 or was it 3-4? I think it might have been 3-4.
Was it 6-7?
3-4? No, 2-3. I'm losing my pick orders.
It happens. It happens.
Oh, yeah, 2-3. I think was the Caitlyn Nautilus again. Hoping for a repeat of last match, but unfortunately
Didn't
couldn't
work out.
quite get them through the early game. I mean, we ended before 20 minutes. There wasn't much of a mid to late game to play for.
Caitlyn's one of those champs that I feel like she works best late game when she's getting those 10,000 damage like headshot crits. And if you just like stop the game before she makes it to that point, it's just like that. It's done. Like, because she is realistically a weaker ADC early.
Yeah,
compared to Varus.
We mentioned a little bit before this game as well, or the Ornn pick didn't go the way they would have really wanted though. First pick Ornn, I don't believe they banned many champs to substitute blinding a tank top, but they did it anyway. Not to the best results, ran headfirst into an Irelia, which immediately the Bork value was ever present. However, with that Irelia showing, they still decided to pick the Nautilus, the Mundo, and Ilaoi mid. I was not expecting that to come
That
out.
was crazy. I was not... Yeah, Ilaoi mid... who's cooking these, like, picks? Because I need to meet them and shake their hand.
Let's just say that their run of the kitchen is unique.
Now, how did you feel about the dare angles?
The deer angles, I loved the deer.
I love the dare. We love the dare.
The deer was so good. Our observers were really on point today. So props to them and everyone else behind the scenes running this entire show. We're just standing here yapping.
Honestly, yeah, this is great. I just like talking.
But yeah, a very very quick game to end it.
We were expecting longer games, and I'm a little sad that they ended so quickly. But you know, it is what it is.
As we progress through this, I believe it's a double elimination bracket. As we keep progressing further and further, the games are going to get closer and closer, and we're going to see more high-profile matchups. And I can't wait for that to happen. Unfortunately, we are all out of time here today, but we'll be back next week to cover the round 3.
Bye.